Hello friends. How are you all? I hope you guys have been well. Thank you all so much for joining me, and thank you everyone who watched the last video. It seems like you all are enjoying catching up with the progress on this project, and I sure appreciate your time, so thank you so much. With that last video, I did get a couple of questions, and they're great questions. One was, can this project be turned into something larger project? And I say yes, absolutely. But just remember, keep in mind, it's slow stitching, it's hand stitching. Be patient with it. You'll get it done, but just be patient, and I suggest you do a little at a time, because when you sew sashiko, your hands will get tired. Certain area of your hands will be used a little bit more, and the tools which came off for the second question was, what is this ring is used for, and how do you use it? And I also want to mention that I don't always explain what each tool serves on my video, just because one, I want to keep the video under 15 minutes. I know that your time is very important. And second, I really don't know the level of everybody's knowledge with stitching. Yes, there's gonna be some out there that absolutely have no clue with stitching, and yes, there's someone out there whose stitching knowledge is far advanced than all of us, and that's wonderful. And the only thing that I can suggest for those of you who never sewn before, or who's just starting to learn to sew and trying to familiarize the things with the tools that we use, it's just simply ask. Just ask, and I will be more than happy to answer it the best way I know how. So with that, let me go ahead and explain to you the purpose of this ring. So this ring is called a finger thimble, and I use it in my middle finger on my dominant hand. And what this is actually protect your palm from your needle. So here's how it's used, and it coincide with the sashiko needle, which is 3 inches long. And so in order for you to sew sashiko, these two items go together. They are partner in crime. Okay, so if you are gonna want to do your bigger project, I most definitely will suggest that you buy yourself this finger thimble and your 3-inch sashiko. So everybody's different. This is how I use my needle and finger thimble. These 3 fingers are normally sits like this when I sew. These 2 are generally what works, okay, that I use a lot. So here's how I use it. The eye of the needle sits there, and this 2 just simply holds the needle. Here's how I use it. I begin sewing. My index finger and my thumb are the only 2 that typically moves until I get to the end of my fabric. This is linen. It's super soft, and the needles goes through it fairly easy. But if you're working with denim, it's thick, and there's a lot of, volume in there, so it's going to be a little hard. So that's when this guy comes in. It helps push that needle through the fabric. So here's how I use it, and it's super, super nice, and I love it. All I do is just do the rocking motion. And then I walk my finger and my index and my thumb on it, and then I push it through. Remember, the eye of my needle is sitting right there, so I can push as hard. It's not gonna hurt my palm. And that's how I sew my sashiko. Everybody's different. Everybody's gonna have their own technique on how to sew, and you're just gonna have to find your own. So you don't have to necessarily do it exactly like mine. I always say there's that comfort zone. When you find that comfort zone, you are gonna be sewing like the way your hand, your body posture is gonna want you to sew, so you can create beautiful stitches. Depending on the fabric that you're using, sometimes I can feed the whole thing through the needle. This size right here is 11 inches. I was able to feed the whole thing in the 3-inch needle, just because it's super light and fairly thin fabric. So depending on the thickness of your fabric. So, but that's what those are. So I hope that was helpful. Yes, you can make a duvet. I think that's a wonderful idea. I might want to even give that a chance, especially with linen. What great idea is that? So, and if you have little ones that had grown up and they had their favorite clothing, you have a favorite clothing prints that you love on them, that you've been hanging on, maybe that would be a good time to go ahead and pull them out and start creating a duvet out of them. Even your own favorite clothing, you have favorite fabric. Me is my linen, like I said. If you have a bunch of linen, pull them all out and do something new and useful with them again. So all right, so with that said, I think I'm done with our slow stitching. This is what I was able to come up with. I did added a bunch of colonial knots. I've been playing around with colonial knots this time around. I seldom put any French knot. I think these here are French knot, but these ones are French knot, but the rest are colonial. These are colonial. So I'm playing around with that. I did a lot of blanket stitch in different. I kind of just did a little bit of variation on them, and then on this one, I decided to just kind of play around with it and use my thread. And then after I finished the pink, I was like, hey, it looks like a picture frame. So what I decided, I just kind of drew a little amanita mushroom there, and I just added some French knot and did the running stitch, and so that's what it looks like. This one I really like, the combination of the stitches and the color I really like. Here's the circle. Now that I'm able to fill in all the 3 circles, it definitely look a lot better. I wanted to add a little bit more images in the blocks, like I did with the mushroom up here, but I I don't know. I mean, there's nothing gonna hold us back if we want to do that. But I think I'm gonna leave it at here, and because I wanted to add some more stitching on the lining. So also, when you are making your pattern, your images like this mushroom, make sure you are on the right direction on your project. Like me, I'm putting the mushroom in the inside part because there's a top and a bottom. That's the directional that I'm talking about. There's a top section of the image and there's the bottom. So if I go like this, I mean, obviously my mushroom is gonna sit upside down and I don't want that. So but if I was to put a flower here, just a plain flower, either way you turn it, it's still going to be a flower. But because the mushroom is directional, it says top and bottom, you know it's going to be upside down if you don't follow the directional pattern of your project. So just keep that in mind when you're sewing and adding images to your project. Anyways, I'll leave it at that, and I will catch up again with you guys next Friday. If you are new in my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for your time. So with that said, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. You all have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourself. God bless, and I will talk to you again next Friday. Bye.